Hello, YouTube subscribers. Today or tonight, whenever you're watching this, I am doing another NECA figure review. Now, I have it like this, that yes, basically, I already know. I already reviewed Frankenstein, which, if you guys haven't seen that video, yes. Basically, now I'm counting this video as well because when you guys watch it, it's going to be done and over with. You guys are going to be watching it. I'm not going to be recording it. Yada, yada, yada. So, counting this one, I've basically done every single Universal Monsters movie figure that's been made. Um, I've done Dracula, I've done Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, the Mommy, the Invisible Man, the Wolf Man, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Phantom of the Opera. So, but since I'm while I'm still recording this, um, I I I have it like I have it. I have the figures together because I wanted to explain this. That basically on the side, just showing how I displayed the figure herself, the gorgeous Bride of Frankenstein. Um, I also wanted to show how I have her with Frankenstein. Now, granted, um, it is the first Frankenstein movie figure. Am I gonna get the sequel, the actual Frankenstein from Bride of Frankenstein? No. I'm just gonna have the first movie, which I think I explain. I want to say that I did explain it in his review. That basically I have his hand reached out because he's lonely. He wants a friend. He just wants somebody to make him feel loved. And he has like I had in his hand the one petal, the one flower, but I after I got the Bride of Frankenstein, I changed it from the one petal to the two petals, showing instead of being lonely, let's be together type thing. So, and then I also had the chain on him to represent that, to make it look like he's a monster and he just escaped, and that basically he was chained up and yada yada yada. To me, like I said, Frankenstein, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Phantom of the Opera, the Wolfman, the Invisible Man is misunderstood people that people labeled as monsters. So, like Bride of Frankenstein. How I have her is basically a representing of what she actually did in the movie. Is that basically she took one look of Frankenstein and which that's what I'm having her do, and then I'll take her uh, out of his chain, move Frankenstein over. Um, and she doesn't have any peg holes, so she can't. Well, she can still stand, but like by herself, and she doesn't because she can't really because she does not have any peg holes. But anyway, I have her basically how she was in the movie, her screaming face, looking at Frankenstein, having her hands up, terrified. So But after I got that out of the way, I'll move her to a side. Um, and her accessories. Ooh. All right. Here's the box in all its glory. The top, the bottom, Universal. Bride of Frankenstein. Here's the sign. Universal Monsters, Neca Real Toys. Come on. Here's the other side. The back. Now onto the accessories. Alright. Here's all the accessories. The first accessory I am gonna start with is her dress / gown. Is because, and the only reason why I'm counting it as a accessory is because if you look at most of the Universal Monsters, like fabric clothing, like Dracula's cape, Phantom of the Opera's cape / jacket, honestly, I want to say that's all the Universal Monsters that comes with Southern fabric. It basically, like Dracula's cape for and Phantom of the Opera's cape / jacket. I mean, it comes in the box off of them, and it basically counts as a accessory. Well, with the gown / dress that she wears, that basically is already on her when you get her out of the box, is because as it shows on the box, you can take it off of her, and she can look like she has her mommy stitched up form, which when I bring this out, which actually I'll just show you guys how to put it on her. I mean, granted, you guys can decide if you guys want it on her, which I would think you guys would, because just have her arms like that, because in a way that was her final look in the movie. And honestly, keep her movie looking accurate. Find the holes that her arms go through. And just carefully make sure. And that is how you get that back on her. So, and how you know you got it right on her, like correctly on her, is that you basically have like these stitches on the back of her dress / gown that basically goes in the back, and yeah, so anyway. Alright. Moving that off to the side. And then you come with this head that you can put on her. Which I do like the detailed, how they still add the eyes, and also how you could still move this head sculpt 360, even though and they also added this part, so you could just simply slot that on and have it look like that. which I like the detail of this piece as well. I mean, it is a great looking add-on. Now, moving away from that, you also got this head sculpt, which I do like as well, and this is the head sculpt. She had that's basically on the body when you first get her out of the box. And then, as you guys know, this is the head sculpt that I have on her, which I do like. Because it helps me, represents the scene from the movie, and also with this head and the one in my hand, you can do 360. Oh, shit. 360. So, and then the hands that both pair of hands, you get one closed one for both sides, which if I remember correctly, she has these on when you get her out of the box. Or she has these on when you get her out of the box. Which, these are the hands I have on her. The wide stop hands. And then here's the other side. And then, oh, also, shit, I almost forgot. My favorite part about the Neca boxes is the window opening. Most of them I forgot about that. And then you also come with these that you simply just wrap on the figure herself, and it's supposed to just sit there. And I think they're supposed to just sit on her arm. But I don't know what I technically really don't know how in the hell, because, I mean, granted, I don't even remember her having that on her when I watched the Bride of Frankenstein, like, I think twice. I think I watched that movie twice, but and here she is in all her glory. There we go. The Bride of Frankenstein. She's alive. She's alive. Type thing. Which it was actually funny because after I found the two figures of the Phantom of the Opera, which I was at Best Buy when I Found those two there. Phantom of the Opera and Creature of the Black Lagoon. I got them, obviously. And then, which I went back to Target because, which I know this character is not a universal monster, but I had to add him to the collection anyway. Nosferatu. And, I knew, yes, he's not a universal monster, but like I said, I just had to add him to the collection. So I ran back to Target, got Nosferatu, ran back to Best Buy, got Phantom of the Opera and the Creature of the Black Lagoon. So I waited. So I thought, okay, well, Target didn't have the Bride, Best Buy didn't have the Bride, and the only Bride version Best Buy would carried was the black and white. Well, I stopped getting the black and white. I wanted the color version, so I went through hell, literal hell, to look for the color version variant of the Bride of Frankenstein. Walmart did not sell her in store. Did not have her in stock, but I had her on their website. Amazon was asking a fucking arm and a leg for her, for the color version, but not an arm and a leg for the black and white. Which you would think, hello, So one day, this past weekend, I went to Walmart with my mom and sister, and I went browsing. I'm like, what could be the chances? Let's just go to the Neca area and see what Walmart has in their Neca stock. Luckily, by chance, they had one left. And I was fucking thrilled that they had her. They freaking had her. And I'm like, I was like, oh, yes. But and then which it was also funny to my mom's point of view, and I also agreed. What was the chances that last weekend I all of a sudden found that Lady Frankenstein movie. This movie. And then I turn around, go in the NECA section, and find the Bride of Frankenstein figure. My mom's like, what's the odds of that? Now I'm like, I know. But anyway, but yeah, I basically went through days, well, I want to say maybe a month, maybe two, but 2, maybe 1 month of hell trying to go from store to store, website to website to find the best price of the best, place and best place and price would sell the color version of Bride of Frankenstein. And yeah, found her in Walmart. Actually found her in the store, Richland Walmart. And yeah, women. I mean, shit. Women will drive you crazy. Figure or actual human being will drive you nuts. But anyway, and let's get into the articulation. But before I actually go into the movement, the figures movement, I actually like the detail of this. I mean, shit. Let's just do this for right now. Get her arms straighted outside the side. Um, I like the detailed as they have for the body. How they have how basically her body is like all mummified, bandaged up. So is her arms. And like I already said about her face, I like how detailed it is, especially how you could see her tongue with this head sculpt. They did well. I mean, they did good with the actress. Um, um, and with the dress, I mean, you can kind of style it any way you like. But, um, like I said, with each head, you can do 360, both arms. Both arms can go out that far. Both arms can basically do 360. She has basically one elbow bend. Her hand, both of her hands can do 360. Um, as I should have just shown the movement when I had her gown slash dress off. She can only kick back that far. Uh, kick out that far. Kick out that far. She only has one knee bend. She can bend her foot back that far. Out that far. And she also has ankle pivot. Also, her waist, or kind of waist, kind of chest line, her torso, whatever you want to call it, has like a 360 bend. Also can bend down forward that much, back that much. That's enough of that. PG-13 channel. Not our channel. Well, technically it's kind of hard to argue with that. She can look down that far. Depends what head sculpt you got on her. I mean, I got the wide mouth on her, so she doesn't really look down that much. She can look up that much, but also the hair on every, well, except one head sculpt, will basically, you know, I never noticed that until now. They had this on her, and then after they took this off of her, her hair looked like this. So was this a wig that they just simply slapped on her, or was this her actual hair and it just magically poofed after they got this off? Because honestly, I got to admit, her hairstyle would take a lot of hairspray and combing, and that would be a bitch. Anyway, I've done enough porn showing hairspraying BS about the Bride of Frankenstein figure. Oh shit. Oh, and also so the quality of the figure. She is fine. Anyway, moving away from the Bride of Frankenstein figure. I mean, I've shown all that I do with the figures that I buy and do reviews on. Now, I got to admit, there are Um, there are a few, at least three Universal characters that I am missing from the collection. I mean, we got all the monsters: Dracula, Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, the Wolf Man, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Phantom of the Opera. So I started thinking, who are we still missing that we could still possibly add that we could still possibly add Neca and possibly still add to the Universal Monster Collection? And I came up with these three characters. The classic black and white normally, but I wouldn't mind, like NECA is doing, how they're doing both variants. How there's one black and white variant and there's one color variant. So why not Dr. Victor Frankenstein himself, the one that helped create both monsters, his first monster and the bride. Also, Dr. Septimus Pretimus. That basically, I'm trying to say the name of the second doctor that helped create the Bride of Frankenstein, that went to Dr. Frankenstein and basically told him, why not make a bride, make a female. So Dr. Septimus Pretimus. Purchase. Forgive me for not saying that name right, and please forgive me for not saying that poorly. But the last character that I thought of to add to the collection with the two doctors that made the first monster and the second monster of Frankenstein is from the 2004 movie Van Helsing, Hugh Jackman, Van Helsing. Now, granted, it's not the black and white classic Van Helsing, but in a way, the 2004 Van Helsing movie was my real first introduction to the Universal monsters. Well, more than one monster. Because technically, it was the 1999 The Mummy movie that was my first introduction to Universal monsters. But the 2004 Van Helsing was my second step of the bigger picture of Universal monsters. So, out of any Van Helsing that's out there, I would rather the Hugh Jackman Van Helsing as a figure to add to the classic Universal monsters. If I'm missing any Universal monsters to add on the list and to add to the list and ask for, or basically, yeah, if I am missing any Universal monster character, please leave it in the comments down below. Also, leave in the comments down below, what do you guys think of the Bride of Frankenstein figure? Did you like the Bride of Frankenstein movie? Do you like any did you like Frankenstein at all? What's your thoughts on basically the first and the Bride of Frankenstein? Also, please hit that subscribe button if you didn't hit that subscribe button yet. It, it, but only please click or hit that subscribe button if if you're not if you're not yet subscribed, because if you're already subscribed, welcome back. I welcome all old and new subscribers with open arms. I don't normally say that, but I just said it a little differently just now. I'm sorry for that. That was really awkward. Um uh um I just lost my train of thought. Please hit that like button if you liked this video. Please hit that dislike button if you hated this video. I do not mind if you guys did not like some of my videos. I mean, most of my videos, I will admit, are terrible. So, have a nice day, have a nice night whenever you're watching this. Peace.